19 for naught, 11 overs gone, and I've been watching this from the start. Hasn't it been a complete and utter bloodbath? And when I say bloodbath, I mean India have been absolutely wrecking England. 19 for naught here, England trying to do something under the lights with the pink ball. There was so much emphasis on it, and that's, I think, reflected in the team that England have picked. Yeah, they've got completely skittled for 112. Anderson, Broad, they've had a chance with the pink ball. 11 overs gone, nothing from it yet. And yeah, they're struggling. They're struggling big time here, England, and it's not looking good so far. Only an hour and a half left of play, and really this could go down to, well, India could end the day right in pole position, and the only way that they're not going to is if Anderson or some one of the England bowlers goes big with the ball. Surely they need to bring on Archer at some point because they bowled 5 and 6 overs respectively between Anderson and Broad. No wickets as of yet, and you'd expect that we're going to see the introduction of Archer at some point anyway, at some point soon, surely you'd expect. But let's see, let's see. Broad running in here, not really getting too much movement, to be honest with you. He isn't a huge swinger of the ball, but as we know, he can bowl that in ducker. He also is more trying, I think, get movement off the seam, which is good as well, which is always useful. But yeah, let's see how it goes. India 19 for naught, as I said. Rohit Sharma 11 off 31. Shubman Gill 8 off 36. Let's see how it will go. Let's see how it will go because I mean England were just so disappointing. England was so disappointing early on, 112. Like just it was abysmal stuff. The application from the batting was just so poor. Apart from Zach Crawley, who looked really good for his 53. Shame he got out because I think he was scoring so well. The timing was amazing. I mean, the best shot of the day is from him. That forward defensive to Bumrah down the ground, unbelievable shot. Really, really good shot from him. And I think he's someone who obviously looks like he's in good nick, but unfortunately, is starting to be in good nick. But if you're not firing, if no one else is firing, then obviously it's a nightmare. So let's see how it goes. But for now, England now at the moment with only 112 on the board, they need to take wickets. They have to take wickets early here, and they haven't so far. 11 overs gone, as I've said. 11.2 overs now. No wickets as of yet, and really they need. I would say they need 4, maybe 3, 4 wickets to even say that they're in this game after day one. Otherwise, you can say it's heavily in India's favour going into day 2. Heavily in their favour, not just a little bit, but absolutely heavily. And Shubman Gill struggled at the start, but he's just gone huge with some of the shots he's hit recently. A really fantastic 4 through the covers of Stuart Broad, and he just soaked it up and said, "Well, okay, that's fine. I'll soak it up here, and then I'll be aggressive when I need to be." And that's what he's done. And Rohit Sharma, we know how experienced Rohit Sharma is, and how talented he is, and he's 11 off 32 here, and they just don't look. Look, they had a little bit of trouble early doors, but no one nicked off. No one's out. LBW bowled, so it's not an issue. Like no wickets have fallen here, and they just look super comfortable. And Rohit Sharma just pulling Broad down to fine leg. Archer getting around there. Good fielding from him. Broad's pace is up, but it doesn't matter. His pace is up, but it's not really effective the way he's bowling at the moment. Not effective at all. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see now how the rest of the match turns out. I would say, or this day. But yeah, it'll be good. There's so much emphasis though with the lights. I say with the pink ball, hasn't done anything. Actually, hasn't done anything so far for England. That's a really good back foot punch from Shubman Gill there, just off the back foot. he's got such good timing. Shubman Gill does fantastic stuff from him. So yeah, really good stuff from Shubman Gill. They're just punching that into the offside. Really good stuff. But yeah, really good. Average swing 1.2 degrees, which is good, and just not much swing for either at the moment, which is not good. And Broad running in again, and tries to go full there, trying to get swing. Let's see how it goes though for him. He is struggling a little bit, Broad, just to find his line, his length, and actually really challenge the batsman, and try and find the outside edge, or bring the LBW or bowled into play. He's struggling to do it big time. He really is. Rohit Sharma 12 of 33, Shubman Gill 10 of 38. And yeah, as I said, it's looking pretty miserly at the moment. So 22 for naught, 12 overs gone. Let's see how this goes. It's just so poor, isn't it, from England? I would say the worst possible start that they've had. Yeah, it's just terrible. And here, look, 19 for naught now, I think it is, or 21 for naught even, off 11, 12 overs. England were bowled out for 112, as I said. Axar Patel just absolutely ripped through them. The left armsman making only his second Test appearance, but bowled extremely well. No, the England batsmen just had no reply, really. Ishan Sharma picked up the early wicket of Don Bess early doors, and then Bess fell for naught as well, both of them. They put a lot of pressure on England. Root fell. It was just, yeah, a collapse of every proportions, obviously. Epic proportions. And just checking the ball now, trying to see whether it's gone out of shape. The pink ball, as I said, like the SCG ball, doesn't do that much. Even the pink one, I don't think. And under the lights, it's just being. It hasn't done a great deal, has it? But yeah, let's see how it goes. The thing is, you want to see good cricket, right? You want to see a good competition. You want to see a good competition between bat and ball. But it's just not happening. Not happening, is it, for England and India? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Archer now, I think he's going to get a bowl, is he? Yes, he is. Thank God Archer's coming on to bowl, because really nothing was happening. Yeah, nothing was happening really with Broad and Anderson. I mean, Anderson especially, but Broad, I think, he's. I guess he can bowl a longer spell. Anderson can't, so they brought Archer for a short, fast spell here from him. Let's see him running in here. He's going to have to try and make something happen here. Goes back of a length and very straight. Rohit Sharma just fends it off, hitting the back of the bat stickers on the splice. Good start from him. And Rohit Sharma has historically struggled with Archer a little bit. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, just pinging that into the offside. Good stuff. Very good stuff from Archer, just bowling back of a length. Pinging that into the bowling hard to the surface. He's got the pace to do it. Interesting to see where his pace is at, actually, as well. Let's see. It'll be good. And 13 matches, 41 wickets, 31 average. It's okay. Archer, nothing, I wouldn't say expect. Oh, and Rohit Sharma's gone after him. He's bowled short, and he's pulled that away to the boundary. Really, really good pull shot, and we know that Rohit Sharma likes to go off the short ball, and he's gone short there. Archer and Rohit Sharma's seen it coming, and he's gone to position pretty early actually. Got across, and yeah, just easy pickings really for him. All wrist down to the mid wicket boundary, and Archer I think needs to get the ball up a little bit more than that. He's either got to bowl a proper bouncer, or he's got to get the ball up and let the ball do the talking. And let's see him now running in. Oh, again, oh, and that's a fantastic shot. Archer this time going a bit fuller, but it's a bit wider, and it's on that fifth stump. Rohit Sharma just punches that off the back foot through the covers. Fantastic shot from Rohit Sharma, really, really good. And interesting, that's back-to-back fours, and his average playing the pull shot against pace is 207, so it shows how good he is at the pull shot. Archer there, just yeah. It's not a bad ball. It's a very good shot, but it's not a fantastic ball either. And they need to be looking to take wickets here. And he's trying to build some pressure, Archer, but probably a bit too short. Let's see. This time he goes a lot straighter. This time, Rohit Sharma just tickling it into the leg side, and yeah, tickles it into the leg side. And looking at his pace is not high. It's 135, 134, 142, 135, 134. So nothing special to see from Archer so far. I think sometimes when it's a rhythm thing, I'm assuming it is. Sometimes it's actually just because he doesn't want to have his pace up that high, because he wants the ball to swing more, or he knows he's going to bowl a longer spell. But I think they need to say to him, like, look, have 5 overs and just bowl as quick as you can, and try and make something happen for us. Because that's 9 overs of that first over. That's a really poor start to his spell. So let's see how. I mean, he is the X Factor bowler. He really is. So let's see how he does. 31 for naught here, India, of 13 overs. And now I think they're bringing on Jack Leach, actually. So they're really going, they're trying to chop and change, they're trying to make something happen. Looking at all their different options here, and India are just cruising. You don't even need me to talk that much, because it's like watching a beatdown at the moment. It really is a beatdown. Oh, it's just poor. It's such poor stuff from England. Jack Leach now coming on. Can he do much? We're about to find out. Look, the ball's going to turn. He's going to get 10 away from the right-handers. He should be able to do a decent job here. So let's see. You'd hope that he's going to do a lot better than his counterparts, considering that it looks like England may have made a mistake with the selection. They picked a lot of seamers. They thought it was going to be, more in favour of the seamers, considering that it's a day-night test and, because of the pitch, etc. But actually, no, it's not going to be. It's going to be, well, from what it looked like in the first innings, it looks like a spinner's paradise. Doesn't look at all like a track that you want to be worried about. Okay, so Rohit Sharma just flicking there to mid-on. And just a very, very easy run. Not much to talk about, really, so far, apart from that absolute collapse from England, really. And Shubman Gill now 10 off 40, Rohit Sharma 22 off 39. Both looking settled now, to be honest with you. Shubman Gill, I guess, still. Oh, that's very well bowled by Leach. Trying to make something happen here. Really trying to bowl to that surface, get that purchase off the surface, which is what you have to do. Axar Patel showed that it's possible. He now needs to do exactly the same thing, and he needs to basically do exactly the same thing. Let's see what he can do. Okay. So Gill 10 off 42, and Rohit Sharma 22 off 39. That's a huge turn from Leach, absolutely huge turn. That's what I mean. Like you're going to see that. You're going to see that, and he needs to seem to utilize it. Look, he can get wickets here. He can get big wickets here. So let's see how well he can do. Really good stuff though from Leach. Really impressive stuff from him, I would say. Looking good so far. Anyways, hopefully he can continue that because they need that big time from him. All right, let's have a look. Well, decent bowling, a bit too straight though, and they just tickle it into the leg side. And it's 33 for naught of 14. Good little first over from Leach, though, only 2 off it. And that's the kind of start that Archer would have wanted. Didn't get. Let's see if he can have a better second over, because I'm assuming he's going to get another go. It would be a bit harsh if he doesn't. While we're here, you know what? I thought this was going to be an easy little. Not an easy, but I thought this was going to be a very competitive match that we'd see quite a bit with that new ball. A lot more than we have done. Under the lights as well, I thought, with the pink ball, I thought Anderson might have a go. I knew that it was going to be a spinning track, so I was like, look, if they think it's not going to be, then they're silly. But I did think, like, to a degree, okay, fine, that might be the case, but we're still going to get, under the lights, it'll still make a difference. Hasn't made a shot of difference. It's played pretty much exactly the same. And England are going to be kicking themselves, I think. If they lose this test in the fashion that looks like they're going to, they're going to kick themselves and think to themselves, what have we just done? Like, we made a grave mistake here. And the issue is that they don't trust Dom Bess. So because they don't trust him, they can't go to him. And they just think, well, we may as well put in a seamer, and that's what they've done. So yeah, it's just an absolute shocker, really. If you look at the team, clearly the balance is not right, I think. But look, there's still days to go. So let's see. Like, there's such a big narrative that will be competitive, but there's a reason India's so good at home at England's pink ball record as well. Yeah, I agree, young Lamppost, 100%. There was this huge narrative that under the lights with the pink ball, we're going to see Anderson Broad, they're going to wreck it, right? People forgot though in the second test, you had that rank Turner, which is fair enough because India are the home side. They can prepare whatever pitch they want, and that's what they did. They prepared another pitch here, which is a Turner on day one. And they didn't expect that, clearly, England, which is so silly. And you can't base a team just based on one session, which is going to be the final session with the lights on, with the pink ball. And clearly, you've just seen here with the STG ball, it doesn't seem to give as much anyway as a Duke or Kookaburra anyway with the pink ball. So there's this huge narrative that Anderson and Broad would get wickets and they'd get it in a burst, and they've gone for broke here really a little bit, England. And unfortunately, it looks like it's backfiring big time. The only issue I have is that they didn't really have any other options because Dom Bess would have probably got slapped over as well in this match. So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. And the batting from England, apart from Joe Root, who got that double 100, he looks fantastic. He looked fantastic, didn't he, in the double 100? But since then, no one else really has gone substantial runs, 100 or 150, etc. England are struggling. And so far, India look comfortable. 33 for naught here of 14. And, it's just... I think you're right, young Lamppost. I don't think it's going to be competitive at all by the looks of things, unfortunately. And that's not what you want, is it? In a test match, really, as a neutral, which I am really. I'd like England to win this one because I think the fourth one India probably will win. I guessed it was going to be... Well, I predicted it was going to be 2-2. I think 3-1 looks a lot better than a 2-2 prediction, I think. Young Lamppost says, oh, hold on 1 second. That's out? Oh, they've got the wicket. They've got a wicket here. Okay. They need a lot more of that, though. They've got an hour to get more. Shubman Gill, that's a really poorly timed pull shot. And Archer, the X Factor player, gets the breakthrough. Let's see what England can do. Can they capitalise on this? Young Lampard says, yeah, I think the pitch is a lot better. Don't think it's spinning hugely like last one. Most of the wickets came from the straight ones. I think that comes down to lack of ability to play spin bar route. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's spinning as much, but I'll give you a comparison. So the Pakistan South Africa series, day 5, I think it was spinning around 3 or 4 degrees. Here on day 1, it was spinning 7 degrees. So I think the pitch is still a turner, but it's not as much as I think the one in the second test match, where, for example, that was like they'd go down to sweep and hit them in the helmet and stuff, like sometimes. So I think that was like carnage. This one is better. It's still turning a lot, but then England should expect it, shouldn't they? Like, I think they have to expect that. So I think, yeah, I agree with you. It's mainly down to a lack of application from the England batsmen. Like they would have known that, and if they didn't, the England team, then they're very naive to think that they're not going to prepare a pitch that's going to suit the spinners, given what happened in that second test match. It's such a shame. I was hoping England would be competitive despite being an India fan. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's just, even if you're an India fan, I think, of course, it's fantastic to win, but you want to see some good cricket, don't you? And this is just, it seems very one sided so far. But let's see. England have finally got a breakthrough, 33 for 1. Rohit Sharma, 22 off 39, and Shubman Gill just leaving the field, walking back to the pavilion with his head probably a little bit lowered on scoring 11 from 51. A couple of fantastic shots from him, but just a mistimed pull shot from Archer, and Archer has that little bit of X factor, and he manages to pick up that wicket. Pujara is just going to occupy the crease. We know that, and Rohit Sharma will be a bit more aggressive. Anything short he's going to pull out. Anything short he's going to go for. So let's see how he does. But I'm been really impressed actually with how India bowled earlier, and also not impressed with how England batted. And Anderson and Broad have just not had the effect that England thought they would. Um, it's disappointing, I think. And even at 34 for 1 here, even though they picked up that early-ish wicket, India bat very deep. England only batted until realistically 7. Folks is probably the last recognisable batsman that you can say can get you some runs. For India, they've got it until like 9, I think. I think Washington Sundar's at 9. So that's crazy. I mean, he'd be 7 in a lot of teams, I'd assume. So, yeah, India in a very, very strong position here. And they'll be looking to not lose another wicket, but I would assume England need to take at least, I would say, 4 wickets by the end of the day to say it's an even day. Otherwise, it's India well in control, I'd say. Well in control. Let me know what you guys think as well. Watching, what do you think of the day's play? It's just been a bit disappointing, right? Even if you're an India fan, I think it's, as young Lampo saying, it's disappointing, and it's a bit like, you want to see 5-day test matches. You want to see that excitement around it. This might not even go to 4 days. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. Pujara here, just going to be that wall, isn't he? To Leach, you're going to see some extravagant pads, to padding out to Leach as well, which is quite cool to see. And he's very unique in the way that he plays, I think. Pujara, which is good. Like, you want unique players. You don't want everyone to play the same. And he is that anchor that will be able to soak up the pressure from one end, and then you've got someone like Rohit Sharma at the other end, which is perfect because he'll play more attacking shots, and he'll have the license to do so because Pujara can just occupy the end, and the bowlers then, oh, hold on, is that out? Is that out? Or yes, he's given that out. Wow, and that's a very similar that's a very, very similar dismissal to what young Lampos was saying, which is here about the straighter ones. This one's just gone on with the arm, and it's clipped Pujara. I reckon that's probably umpire's call, leg stump. Yeah, he's walking off. That's out. That's how I'm telling you. That's out. He'll be lucky if it's umpire's call, but that's out. And it's really well bowled from Jack Leach. And the spin here is good. That's really well bowled from Jack Leach. And Virat Kohli now coming out to the crease. And do we have a game on here? We're about to find out, because Virat Kohli walking to the crease here, put Jara out, trying to fend one off from Jack Leach. But unfortunately, out LBW, really well bowled from Jack Leach. He's looking very threatening, and it's 34 for 2. 15 overs gone, 1 ball remaining in the over, and Virat Kohli, the captain, walking to the crease. Can England I said they'd need I said they need at least 4 wickets to say it's a relatively even day. Can they do that? Can they get those 4 wickets? We're about to find out. But at least we're in for a game here, because I think this could have been terrible. But let's see. Let's see. Still a lot of time left in the day. There's an hour left. England are going to have to pick up a couple more wickets, as I said. But they're in the ascendancy now. That's 2 quick wickets. Archer starting it off, getting Shubman Gill, and now Pujara out for naught. So really good stuff from them all, from both bowlers. And coming on after Anderson and Broad were pretty ineffective and just not able to do what England really wanted them to do. Let's see here now. Last ball of the over. A lot of pressure. People around the bat, they need to do that with Kohli early doors. Kohli reminds me sometimes a little bit of someone like Ponting. And a lot of the top players have this. The first, 5 minutes of their innings, if you can tie them down, make sure they don't hit any boundaries, that's the most vulnerable time, which for a lot of batsmen is anyway. But especially for these elite players. But as soon as they get past that stage, it's really hard to get them out. I feel like he's similar. So England will need to kind of put pressure on him straight away if they want to have any chance of getting him out. I'd say early doors. Okay, well bowled. That's a very good over from Leach. 16 overs gone, 34 for 2. And England. Let's see. Charles Shaw says English batsmen wanted to get set by giving themselves some time on the wicket. It's a good option in seaming condition, but when it's spinning and gripping, you ideally want to counter attack. Exactly, yeah, Charles, 100%. And we saw that with Stokes. Crawley, sorry, even. Crawley did exactly that, didn't he? He counter attacked. He scored pretty quickly, and Stokes did it. I mean, I think it's the second or third ball he hit Ashwin down the ground for 6. And then after that, he just went back into a shell. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, you need to, of course, Ashwin was bowling really well, so was Axar Patel, but you can't just sit there and say, okay, I'm not gonna come out now. Like, you got to say, well, okay, they're bowling well, but not every single ball needs to be defended at. Sometimes you can be proactive, you can punch it down, at least show some type of intent. And unfortunately, they weren't doing that. That was the issue, I think, and they're doing it now, which is good. I guess to more degree, that's what India are going to try to do, I'd assume. They know how to play on these pitches. And 34 for 2, they need to bowl aggressive lines and lengths here, especially Leach, who you can see he's got perched on the wicket. Make the bowlers change line length by applying some pressure also keeps the game going. Definitely without purpose, his senses. Yeah, 100%, exactly. Make the bowlers change in the line length by applying some pressure. It's calculated aggression, I call it. Calculated aggression. So, and actually, for example, Stokes uses his feet to hit that down the ground. You can still use your feet, and then if it's not the right ball to attack, you just go down and say, okay, I'm going to defend that. Lots of players do that. Use your feet to the spinners, and then if you realize, okay, I'm not quite to the pitch of that, I can't quite hit that over the top or wherever I want to hit it aggressively, then you say, okay, I'll just get behind it, bang, and that's it. Dot ball doesn't matter though. At least I've used my feet, and I'm kind of trying to be proactive. And sometimes you might not use your feet, and you might rock back and think, okay, actually, because he's thinking I'm going to come forward, and then you make, as Charles saying there, you make the bowler think about his line and length rather than you're sitting in your crease being defensive, and he knows I've got you pinned down. That's a fantastic shot from Rohit Sharma again, highlighting how good he is at the pull shot. We said he's got an average of 207, unbelievable against pacers basically, whilst playing the pull shot. And Archer again just a little bit on the short side and just sitting up there for Rohit Sharma. He's trying to bowl almost a bouncer, I think, there. Hasn't quite come off. It's a bit too full for a bouncer. Pops up quite nicely, and Rohit Sharma is one of the best players of the pull shot out there, to be honest with you, if not the best. I think it's pretty safe to say. So he definitely puts that one away, and really, really good shot from him. 38 for 2, and yeah, they're just showing that. Oh, that's a very good shot down to third man. Very good little manoeuvring from Rohit Sharma, and he is a very talented player. I think personally he hasn't filled his potential quite yet at the test level, but he's got a string of games here now, and he's very experienced, very mature, and in the other formats he's fantastic. So let's see if he can kind of replicate that in the others. I think that's kind of what he needs to be doing personally, and I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. He's a very, very good player, and those types of players, they're too good, aren't they? Like, he's too good a player to not be performing, or performing to the best of his ability in one format. So let's see how he does. 38 for 2 or first 16.5 overs. Fantastic pull shot, as I said, from Rohit Sharma. In England, though, they've got a bit of momentum and they need to put pressure on Kohli, especially. They have to put pressure on him straight away. Don't give him anything easy. He's only faced one delivery, so I think they want Leach to look at him, which if they can just keep Rohit Sharma to a dot here, which, he gets lucky there this time. So Archer says, okay, you want to pull me, and he bowls a much better directed bouncer. This time Rohit Sharma goes to pull, gets big on him, and he's late on that, and that goes over the keeper's head for 4. Very, very interesting passage of play here. Very, very interesting passage of play. 42 for 2 from 17. Let's see what Leach can do against Kohli. This is going to be I'll tell you what, this is going to be a crucial over for England. They need to tie him down. They get the wicket, of course, that's ideal, but they need to at least tie Kohli down and really put him under pressure. Can't afford to let him get in. If he gets in, the game can be gone, because unfortunately he's that type of player, isn't he? He really is that type of player. Yeah. Unbelievable. Really good. Really good stuff. And here we go, Virat Kohli just showing his stats here. I mean, what an average, right? 52. Unbelievable. 2500s, 2700, 2550, sorry, 2700. So a fantastic conversion rate as well. Leach here 1 for 3. He's bowling really well. This is the time. Oh, he gives him a freebie, really, outside leg stump, and it trickles down. I don't think he gets anything on that, Kohli, and they've let him off the hook there. You really want Leach to have 6 balls at him, because Leach is, I think, well, personally, I would say Leach is the threat now at the moment. He's the biggest threat, isn't he? That's what I would say anyway. I would say Leach is the biggest threat. And then maybe someone like Archer, because Anderson and Broad were just not doing enough for me. And this pitch it seems suited for a spinner or someone with extreme pace, which Archer can have. He hasn't been super quick. Let's see what he can do. He's got Kohli again. They ran 2 buys. I still can't get over the Leach with glasses. Even the amount of times I've seen him play, but I still can't quite get to grips with him with the glasses. He just looks he looks very smart, let's say. Good flick there from Kohli, though, getting very leg side of the ball, getting his head over there, and very, very good flick from Kohli. 56 for 2, 17.4 overs gone. Guys, what the heck is what's going to happen? Are we going to see any more wickets falling? What do you guys think? Can England get Kohli and Rohit Sharma? I think if they can get both of them, they can say it's an even day. That's what I would say. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. 46 for 2. Kohli is 2 or 5. Rohit Sharma 31 or 46. So this is a fantastic. This has been a lot better, I think, at the last half an hour or so. I think it was definitely dwindling the game, and it looked like it might be a very easy win for India. I think it still could be. Really, they need to get these guys out, but at least they've given themselves a little bit of a chance here with those 2 wickets in quick succession. Shubman Gill and Pujara just showing again. So Rohit Sharma, that ball, that was a quicker delivery from Archer, really well directed bounce, and Rohit Sharma goes to pull that, realizes it's too big on him. Hits the bottom of the bat, goes over the keeper for 4. Gets quite lucky there, but he'll take it. He'll take it. Charles says Root could have his best bowling figures this game. That's my wild yet educated guess. You know what? Leach is bowling quite well. I wouldn't say he's amazing, but Root could. Got golden arm as well. He's going to have to bring himself onto bowl. He would have realised that actually. And one thing that annoys me a little bit is that England have other spinners in reserve. If they didn't want to use Beth, which is fine, they've got Amirverdi, who's an off spinner from Surrey here in the UK, and he's quite good. He's young, but why not give him a go? They've got Leggy, Matt Parkinson, who's good, who plays for Lancashire here, and Mason Crane, who plays for Hampshire, who's another Leggy. So they could have gone with another spinner. But obviously they just wanted to go with the balls that they thought would be wicket-taking options. But the issue is that in these conditions, it's not. And then they're so obsessed with the pink ball and under lights, and none of that's happened. None of it's happened, has it? Like, it hasn't made a jot of difference, really. So I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that you just look at and you just think they've made a big mistake here. Can they amend it? Can they change it? I don't know. Because Root is going to have to put in some hard yard Stokes as well. I mean, he's going to have to. He hasn't pulled his weight in the bowling department and really in the batting department either, to be honest with you. So they're going to have to look at it and say, well, who's not putting their weight? You guys need to step up. And unfortunately, Stokes is one of them. And, the bowlers as well. Like, I don't know. I think the batting is the biggest issue because 112 is just ridiculous for the bowlers to have to deal with. You need to be giving your bowlers at least 200. I know it's a turning surface, but I can guarantee you that India are going to get over 200. It's written, isn't it? Let's be honest. They're at home when they can clearly play spin better than England, and England haven't applied themselves. And I don't understand this because in Sri Lanka they had similar surfaces. Maybe not turning as much, but they still turn quite a bit, to be honest with you. And I understand India are much better out of it at the moment in this current kind of climate, but it's just, it's not good enough. It's really not good enough from them. And just they need to do a lot better, I would say, personally, England. And I thought this would be, a lot of people were saying, and I thought maybe this could be their chance. I was thinking, I know it's going to turn, but really, if they're going to risk it all, then this kind of period in the game, in the final session, Broad Anderson needs to pick up wickets and big wickets, and it hasn't happened. If it doesn't happen now, I just feel that unless Anderson can get the ball to reverse later on in the innings tomorrow, it's going to be really tough for them. Because if you look at the Indian lineup, which they're showing now, Sundar is batting at number 9. You've got Kohli and Rohit Sharma in now. Rahane, Pant, Ashwin, Akshar Patel, Sundar, Ishant Sharma, and Bumrah. So, okay, fine. 10 and 11 pretty much can't bat. But everyone else can bat. Everyone else can get you 50. Potentially. Everyone else can get you 50. And it's funny, they're showing the replay now. So the one that Rohit Sharma just top-edged for 4, that's pretty much a very similar delivery to what Shubman Gill got out to. Again, got a little bit big on him, tried to pull it, didn't get over the ball. And Achal Shah says Root has a tendency to turn a few and bowl straight on others. Yeah, he does. Just like Akshar Patel, he could have some success bowling around the wicket. Oh, yeah, he could. He could. Similar to Leach, though, I think most spinners have that. They should have that in their arsenal if they're decent enough. The one that can turn a little bit and one that goes straight on, kind of with the arm, especially round the wicket, as you're saying, Achal. That's a very good point. But yeah, they should have that. They should have that in their arsenal. I'd hope anyway. But yeah, Akshar Patel was very good, and I think it's not just his ability to be able to turn it away from the right hander and also kind of sliding into the right hander with the arm, but also his ability to get drift as well, which then adds another element to it. And it shows that he was putting big revs on the ball, and 6 for 38, right, from him is just absolutely beautiful stuff from Akshar Patel. And on his second ever Test match, I know it's his home ground. It doesn't matter. It's really impressive, and he impressed me a lot actually. And to be able to outbowl Ashwin in home conditions, I think says a lot about how good a talent this guy is. And how old is he actually? He's not. I don't think he's that old. I think he's like mid-20s, isn't he? But yeah, he's a damn good player. So he's the same age. He's similar age to me actually. So he's 26, 27. Okay, so 27. So he's got quite a few years left, and he's a decent bat as well. It's a good find, man. They still got Jadeja to come back as well. So they've just India at the moment. Indian cricket, the kind of the depth in their Indian Test squad. The depth in the Indian Test squad is just crazy. I think someone said to me like maybe they've got better fast bowlers than spinners. I don't know if that's true, but I think they probably it's a golden generation of fast bowlers for sure for India. Probably the best I've ever seen in terms of the crop of fast bowlers they have. But yeah, in terms of spinners, they still got Ravi Ashwin, Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Axel Patel. Like these guys are not bad bowlers. Like Ashwin's probably the best spinner around at the moment. I'd say Jadeja's up there as well. Axel Patel looks a very good talent. He's only played a couple of games. Washington Sundar again. I think it's his third game. He's a pretty or fourth game. He's a pretty good bowler. I'd say he's probably a batting all rounder, but he's still a very good. I'd still say he's a good option. So things are looking good for India, I think. Rohit Sharma 31 off 47, Kohli 3 off 6, and Kohli's just going to take his time here, try and occupy the crease, get his iron, I'd assume, and they're just going to try and bat until the end of the day, try and be solid. As a batsman in these conditions, he'll be thinking actually it's not doing too much, but you still want to be careful because you might get the odd one that might do something. So he's not going to be super expansive. It's a test match, not T20. So he's just going to be taking his time and punish any loose deliveries, which inevitably will come, won't they? Let's be honest. 3 off 8 now for Kohli. This session, if you look at it, 13.2 overs, 42 runs from it, 2 wickets. That wicket column for England needs to go up. Needs to go up big time, I would say. 100 and, I just keep on looking at the 112 and it just really bothers me. It just bothers me how you can get bowled off 112 in a test match. Anything kind of below 150, I just think, unless it's a pitch which is just horrific, right? And it's so bowler friendly. Like you just cannot be getting bowled out for below 150 in a first innings of the test, especially for batting first. Like it's just terrible, and it just sets the tone for the rest of the test match potentially. What do you guys think of the new stadium as well? I think the new stadium looks pretty good with the lights and the seating, etc. I think they've done a pretty good job revamping it, but it looks good. Charles Shaw says, by the way, I'm at the ground listening to you. It's like BBC Radio.com in the UK. Wow. Charles, that's amazing. You said you're from Ahmedabad as well, so that's actually incredible. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's like BBC Radio. Yeah, exactly. That's so good. What's it like in the stadium? Child, let us know. What's the environment like? It must be amazing being in the stadium, and the crowd and the noise. It must be great to have cricket back there. So let us know. Give us a bit of a feel of what it's like to be inside the stadium, because we're all missing cricket and watching it as well, live in the stadium. That is. Archer just it's difficult for Archer, I think, because he's got pace. So the batsmen will try and we're going to try and utilize it, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're going to try and utilize the pace. Like Rohit Sharma did very well early doors, punching through the offside, a fantastic shot, pulling him as well. He needs to be really tight with his lines, I would say, and also the length that he's bowling at the moment is quite varied. I'm trying to think how he can get a wicket here, and it just doesn't look like he's able to get too much off the wicket. His pace is it's not up. It's really not. And again, it might be to do with rhythm. It could be a rhythm issue, or it could also be a case of that he's just not. He's trying to get the ball to do something, to swing through the air, which we know he has the ability to swing the ball in, but no such movement yet. Charles says, never seen so many empty seats with 55,000 in the ground. Feels a bit weird. Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, 55,000 said a hell of a lot of people, isn't it? I mean, here in the UK, if you talk about cricket stadiums, I'm trying to think if any of them are 55,000. I don't think so. I think the Oval and Lords and Edgbaston, I think that maybe there might be 30, 35 maximum. That's the capacity. Only football stadiums here are around 55,000 or more. So yeah, I mean that's still incredible though. It's absolutely huge, the stadium, and the outfield looks nice, and the whole stadium feel. What's it like? Are the seats comfortable? They must be, right. New seats, and at least you've got a bit of room to yourself though, as well. Because I'm assuming if it was full capacity, it would be jam packed, and you're having to fight over, I don't know, stuff. And you know how it could be, people standing up when you don't want to stand up, and all sorts. But it should still be a bit of a good atmosphere, I'd assume. It looks like the crowd are really getting behind the team, and I think that's definitely had a very positive impact on India since crowds have come back. Obviously, since that second test, crowds have come back, and obviously it's not the main factor for them winning, but it definitely is a contributing factor to boosting India. The players will definitely come into it. Kohli loves the crowd. Kohli absolutely loves the crowd. He is someone who I think feeds off that. Um, that kind of hysteria around and people cheering. He definitely laps it in, and I think maybe playing in an empty crowd was not I don't think negative, but I think maybe he was missing it a little bit, and maybe the Indian players as well, because especially when in the place they're at the moment, where they're such a strong team, and they're always seen as the favourites going into games now. They're so strong, they're probably thinking to themselves, we want the crowd here to witness it and really cheer us on, and give us almost like be a 12th man, as the cliche is. Leach getting a little bit of drift there, actually, which is quite good. That's well played from Rohit Sharma, just punching that through the offside, but they've got a sweeper there at deep extra cover. Crawley throwing that in, one bounce into Leach, and Rohit Sharma looks in very good form. I think apart from that mishit pull that went over the keeper, from Archer, which was an element of luck to it. Apart from that, he's played very, very well, 33 or 49, and Kohli just getting his eye in 4 or 14. And England will have to look to break this partnership before the end of the day, I would say. Charles says here, amazing ground. I rate it at par with Wembley Stadium, except for the underground parking. Amazing amenities, great museum as well. Wow, okay, it's quite cool. Yeah, Wembley Stadium I've been to a few times for football, see England play, and also I've watched boxing there. So Anthony Joshua, if anyone knows who he is, heavyweight champion. So I watched a couple of fights of his. No, one fight of his actually there as well. So yeah, Wembley is huge, and if you're saying it's similar to that, which it will be, because it's the capacity is very similar. In fact, I think this has actually got a bigger capacity, this stadium, compared to Wembley. Is that out? Is that out? Oh, it's a similar. It's very similar to the Pajara one, but I think that looks probably like it's sliding down leg side. I would say they should probably go for it. But the only issue with going for it, which they have done, is that the on-field umpire has given it a not out, and I would assume if they're lucky, England, it's going to be umpire's call, and obviously that would still be they still stick with the original decision as a third umpire, I would say, and it's going to be not out. But let's see what they say. Rory Burns obviously not playing this test. I'm just showing the replay now. Actually, it looks actually a bit straighter than I first imagined. Rory Burns, I mean, obviously not getting picked. I don't know. It's an interesting one because Beto didn't perform. That actually looks like it could be out. It's looking straighter than I thought it was going to. Let's have a look. They're looking at DRS here now. Sharma has come down the wicket though. It's a big leap. Let's see, is it going over? Yes, it is. It's going over. It's missing the stumps, and that extra kind of step from Rohit Sharma coming out the crease is what has really helped him there. Just popping over the stumps, and Jack Leach obviously bowling very well. But Rohit Sharma doing a good job there just to make sure he's out the crease there, and that would have helped him for sure. DRS is showing it's going over. As I said, it's a lot straighter than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was actually going to be umpire's call, but not even clipping the stumps, it was going over. And Stokes just talking to the umpire. I think about the footholes being caused. But yeah, let's see how it's going. The ball tracking was fake for real. Yeah, the ball tracking was fake for real. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know. Achal, for anyone who doesn't know, is actually in the stadium and he's listening whilst being at the match in the stadium, which is amazing. So thank you very much, Achal, for tuning in. And he said it's like BBC Radio in the UK, which I really appreciate. So the stadium has been created as part of a larger scheme of things to bring Olympics slash the cricket, okay, the CWG to the city. They are also creating a 50k football arena and a gymnastics facility, sorry, even around. So, okay, yeah, so they're trying to really grow the sports in India, which, I mean, India are in a phase just as a country of, I mean, they're just building so much at the moment, aren't they? So, yeah. Usher says here, please watch the PSL. I will be tuning the PSL around, so after this match is finished, or the day is finished, I'll be tuning in for the PSL because Karachi Kings, as Usher just said here, 156 for naught in 15.5 overs. Barbara Azam is 56 for 47. Shajil Khan 92 for 51. So they're absolutely slapping it everywhere and absolute carnage. So I will be doing PSL around about 4:35, around 4:35. So just in about an hour, I'll be doing it. So I'll be tuning in for the second half of that game. Have you heard of Rave Cricket Stadium? Yes, I have. Yeah, they showed loads of pictures of it. It looks amazing, doesn't it? And I think they're building a stadium around there in 2022, as Cryptic says, and it's going to be great. Yes, it will be. It will be. 51 for 2. I'll come to the rest of the questions in a second or comments. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in as well. I really appreciate it. I think everyone in the chat has already subscribed, so I won't say that, but please do like the video. It really does help. Rohit Sharma is 33 or 50 and 5 or 15 for Kohli as well. Cryptic RH17 says, yes, Sharjeel and Bob are playing good. Yes, Sharjeel and Bob are playing good, clearly. And obviously, the tracks, I mean, previously in the PSL, just while we're waiting for Stokes to come on, he's just going to bowl his first over here. Sharjeel and Barber obviously batting well, so it's probably, I feel, a mixture of that. But the pitch in Karachi, or the pitches in Karachi, seem to be flattening a little bit after yesterday's match as well. The first three were pretty low scoring games, between 140 and 180, but since yesterday it was 190. Stokes running in here now, ball short, and Kohli pulls, and I don't know where that's gone. The camera's lost, and he just pulled that for the boundary. Fantastic shot, and that's a terrible start from Stokes. Really shocking start. Short and just, yeah, popped up for Kohli to hit, really. It was pretty quick, 140 Ks, but does it make a difference if you're going to bowl that kind of rubbish? No. It's a half tracker, and Kohli's just put it away like it should be, to be honest with you. And Usher says, awesome, can't wait. Yep, so as I said to you, I will be doing this at 4:30. Cryptic RH17 says, subscribed and liked, bro. Thank you very much. Cryptic RH17 says, you have to watch PSL now. England versus India is good. I think England will win, although their first innings batting was atrocious. Yeah, if England win this, it's going to be a fantastic turnaround. I can tell you that. That's what I'm going to say, because at the moment, India, are in the driving seat, 100%. And they're just showing the replay again for Leach's, nearly wicket, and Rohit Sharma just flicking Stokes, and already 7 off this over from Stokes, only 3 deliveries bowled. After 2 wickets, those 2 quick wickets, I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is going to be fantastic, because if they get another couple, or another 1 or 2, then we could have a good game on here. But Rohit Sharma and Kohli are steadying the ship, let's say, and making it very difficult. England need to pick up at least 1 more wicket before day's play. Let's have a look here. Kohli and Barber are batting at the same time, 2 greats. However, the only difference is Barber is getting back in form. Virat still needs to get back in form. Oh, no, Virat Kohli's in form. If you look at his last... when we say he's getting back into form, because he hasn't scored 100 maybe, but then Barbara Azam has scored a couple of innings in the PSL, but I think it's difficult to compare because Virat obviously has scored a 50, I think, in his last 4 test matches in each inning, so he's still scoring runs. Barbara Azam obviously struggled a little bit in the South Africa series, scored that 70 odd, which was really good. I don't really like comparing them because they're in different moments in their career. Barbara Azam is 26. He's 5 years younger than Virat Kohli or more even, and yeah, Virat Kohli obviously is a lot more established at this time. Once they retire, I'm sure we can definitely compare them. I'm hoping we're going to be able to, because Bob Rosham's got immense potential and ability. But until then, I won't talk about it too much. And whilst we are talking of that, Stokes running in here 57 for 2, overs 20.4 overs gone. Pace down a little bit now from him as well. And England 112. Well, England got 112. India 57 for 2. One ball left in the over, and then we will be looking at Leach, I think, to come back on. Surely he looked pretty well dangerous, didn't he? He looked very dangerous, Leach, I thought. Graham Swan, what do you guys think of him as a commentator? I'm not a massive fan, if I'm being honest with you. Stokes running in, and Kohli just trying to work that into the offside, as it gets quite big on him. No run, and 6 runs off that first Stokes over, which he'll be disappointed to. The rest of the over was okay, but you can tell he's just trying to contain, not really trying to go particularly big and try and take wickets, really. Cryptic R817 says competitive opening spots by Pakistan, Rizwan, Shajil, maybe Safraz Barber is definitely going to be one. I think Bob Roswell about 3 actually, like he did in the last T20 against South Africa. I think that's going to happen going forward. I think that's probably the best position for him anyway at 3 in T20s, like he does in ODIs. And Safraz is not going to open. He hasn't opened for Quetta after that first match. Hans is one, though. He'll open, I think, with potentially Fakar Zaman Shajil. Jack Leach back on, and Rohit Sharma's 34-51. Kohli 10 of 20. Can Leach get another wicket? And hold on, Rohit Sharma tries to go big, doesn't get all of it. A little bit of a miss hit through wide mid on, but he gets enough of it, and it's 4 runs. But Leach won't mind that at all, him charging and not necessarily, as I said, getting all of that. Shajil is 101 off 55 for Karachi Kings and absolutely slapping it everywhere. And they are 169 for north of 17 overs. So surely they're looking at 200 plus there in that PSL game. That'll be a fantastic race run chase to cover, which I will be doing. At the moment, though, India are 61 for 2, 21.1 overs gone. 4 off the first delivery. That's happened 2 overs in a row. And England here, they're letting India get to grips again in this innings, and they're going to have to be careful, because for me, if they don't get one more wicket, it's going to be tough. Of course, the batsmen need to reset the next day, but I think these two are good enough to know how to reset. When a new day's play happens. So I think a new wicket here is really, really crucial. A wicket is super crucial for England, and probably they're looking towards the man who's just about to bowl, which is Jack Leach, with the fantastic spectacles on. And Kohli gets a bit fortunate inside edging that, trying to just defend it, doesn't know exactly what line to play, runs down to fine leg, and Archer running round, throwing that in. And Leach is looking he's looking dangerous. I'm just going to say that he's looking dangerous. Probably their best opportunity at the moment for a wicket, I would say. Charles says here, England should put more catching fielders around the batsman. I don't understand why they have such an open field. I agree with you. I think they have to. I understand they don't have many runs on the board, but it doesn't really matter, because if they don't pick up wickets, put pressure, their game will get away from them anyway. So they have to make sure they get people around the bat. And Charles that's a drop, I think. That's a drop. Bairstow dropping Kohli on 12. That could be a turning point in the match. It's not an easy catch, but it's a catch nonetheless. I think just showing the replay here. Yep, Kohli mishitting that one. It's a false shot. It's in the air, and no, it doesn't. It bounces. It bounces. The Charlotte's bounced. So, luckily for Bairstow, I guess. Not a drop catch, I don't think. Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's dropped in front of Bairstow, and then he stopped it. So it's it's actually well fielded in the end from Bairstow. Well bowled again from Leach. This one actually staying low, past the bat of Rohit Sharma. And That's good though. That's good. That's a good sign for Leach that he's getting Kohli to play those types of shots, and the way he wasn't in control. When is the next World Test Championship? Is it confirmed who are Pakistan playing first? I'm not sure, Cripps, actually. I'll have to look into that. I haven't looked into it just because this one hasn't even finished yet, and the final I think is obviously going to be at Lords in a few months' time. So I haven't looked at it, but I'll have a look and let you know. Um, I'll probably do a video as well previewing the next round of the World Test Championship, but I don't think it's been confirmed from what I know. It may have been. If anyone wants to correct me, please feel free to do so. But I agree definitely with this point from Achal about getting catches around the bat. And that shot from Kohli just, I think, highlights the fact that, look, they're going to have to try and be proactive, or try to be proactive. And the best way to make sure that they can get wickets is to really just put them under as much pressure as possible. You have to. Really, they should have done that early doors, I think, with Virat Kohli, really. Because, as I said, he's most vulnerable at the start of his innings, as most top players are, to be honest with you. So let's see how this goes. Stokes running in here. Last over was actually 10 off it, but I don't think it was a particularly bad over from Leach, if I'm honest. Even though it went for 10, sometimes that does happen. Stokes running in though here, dot ball first up, well bowled, good line length from Stokes, just trying to hit that good length to make sure that they can't squeeze him away, and he can actually try and create some pressure from one end. The final will happen in England, and there will be no restrictions after July. It's going to be a packed final. Is the final match decided? Yes, there's only one match, Cryptic. New Zealand are in the final, and I can give you scenarios. If India win this 3-1 or 2-1, they go through to the final. England have to win, I think, 3-1 to go through to the final. I'm talking about this series, England-India, and then if it's 2-2, Australia will go through. If it's 2-2 or 1-1, then Australia go through to the final against New Zealand. Will it be packed? Potentially. I think here in the UK, it looks like restrictions may be relaxed by July, so potentially it will be a packed stadium. Let's see, though. Let's see. Fingers crossed. It would be nice, wouldn't it, to have the final? And yeah, it's just a one-off match. Charles says here, can you explain why Stokes is having, or before I talk about that, good pull, but straight to the fielder, why is Stokes having a short point position? What will the fielder do exactly? So, yes, he's got a silly point or a short point in there. I think the reason why, I don't know, if I talk about the position of that person, you normally have someone like that in for a spinner when he's being super aggressive and you think he can take a wicket and it'll just pop up. They're probably looking there to see whether Stokes is obviously then going to be bowling back for length. So just looking to see whether it'll pop off the bat, off the stickers, off the splice, and they can have someone short in to get, I guess, clean up. But that's a fantastic shot from Kohli just there, off the back foot. Pure timing in Stokes. I mean, he's not really utilising that short silly point, is he? To be honest with you, 17 or 25 for Kohli, and he's looking in very good form, as is Rohit Sharma, 41 or 55. And whilst we look at that four, good seam position, but too short from Stokes. And Kohli just on the back foot, just really well placed, to be honest with you. Full face of the bat, pure timing. Punches it into the leg side, really. 4 runs, and Stokes falling over, which I guess sums up that delivery. Just to give an update, Karachi Kings are 176 for 1. So Barbara Azam gone, but Shajil Khan's still on 105. So these guys are going big. They're going very big. And Stokes there, that's a much better delivery, bowling fuller, outside the off stump, trying to entice Kohli into an attacking shot. That might also be why they have that silly point in to see if, for the outside edge as well, Charles as well. Whether it's the right position to have someone in at the moment, I don't know. Stokes needs to be able to bowl. He needs to be able to bowl very accurately and to a certain field if he wants to utilise that man, to be honest with you, which at the moment he's not really doing. He's too erratic, I would say, to warrant having someone like that in. But we did say they need people around the bat, so I guess that's what they're probably thinking of. What do you guys think of Ben Folks' black gloves? It's a weird one, isn't it? A lot of people are not a fan of it. I don't really mind it, but a lot of people are not massive fans of it, which I can see why. Um, Karachi Kings are 176 for one. Cryptic is saying, what time does the India England match have stumped? So it's 4 o'clock, I think. It's 4 o'clock. Then I have a 15-minute meeting, which may or may not be. I think it's supposed to be around 4. It might go on a little bit longer. Um, yeah, then obviously I've got a meeting, so I should be starting the PSL. I'll be catching basically the rest of the PSL from 4:30 onwards here in the UK. So I should catch the last hour or so at least of that, which will be nice. Considering that the chase looks like it's going to be crazy. Dan Christian's just come in at 4, so Shajil Khan I think has just got out again. 2 very very quick wickets fall on there. Bob Rosen run out on 62, and LBW Hassan Ali, Shajil Khan, but 105 or 59, absolute carnage from Shajil Khan there. India 72 for 2 off 23 overs, and Rohit Sharma is 41 or 55, Kohli 17 or 28, and this could potentially, those types of figures that we're talking about are like ODI strike rates, really, 41 or 55. So England really are leaking runs here a little bit. It's not good. And India creeping towards that 112, a lot quicker than probably England anticipated, and the wickets are not falling. So disappointing, I think, from a neutral point of view. I don't like at one point when the 2 quick wickets fell that you might get more, but nothing at all. Charles says, I think it's for the slash shot. Kohli sometimes just plays over point for a short and wide delivery. I hope Kohli remembers he isn't wearing the RCB jersey. Yeah, exactly, 100%. I mean, it's just, it probably is that. I think Charles. I think it's just to see whether he's going to play a false shot and have someone in there. But I don't know whether it's the best person, the best position to have at the moment. But let's see. And Cash says, are his black gloves different in terms of design or structure or just color? I think it's just color, to be honest with you. Or maybe they're special ones that make him so good at keeping. No, I don't think they are really. I think they're just normal gloves, but he just likes the black ones. A lot of cricketers are very superstitious. And it's funny, I interviewed a cricketer, the Kent opener, Daniel Bell Drummond, I think it was, and he said to me, I think it's either him or someone else. One of them anyway said, you're a cricketer, so we're really superstitious. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm not superstitious at all, to be honest with you. I know a lot of cricketers are, and he might just be superstitious, Ben Folks. Maybe he kept really well once with black gloves. I'm sure there's a story behind it, and maybe that happened, and he just thought, I'm going to stick with them, and that's it. Never look back. Matt Jones says green top. Nah, yeah, of course not. They show the pictures of it. It's funny in all these Facebook forums, like green top. Oh my god, this is the pitch, and it was like 5 days before, and I was like, they're definitely gonna take all of that off. It's gonna be dry. There's gonna be tan. Like, what are they expecting after the second Test match? Like, don't be silly. After you just get, after England show their frailties and weaknesses, not being able to play spin, why are India going to prepare a pitch that's going to help them? And then England went and said, well, we're going to put all our eggs in one basket and hope that we can get a bucket load of wickets with the pink ball under lights with Gordon Anderson. And next thing you know, nothing just happened. Like, nothing's happened. Neither took a wicket. The pink SCG ball doesn't do as much as the pink Kookaburra or pink Duke ball. So, I mean, to be honest, it just looks like a comedy of errors, really, here from England, unfortunately. And selection, I don't know because I don't trust Don Best. What do they do? But really, I think they're one spinner at least light. I mean, India have got 3 that they're going to utilise. So I think that kind of says it all, and it shows how well they bowled early doors to get England at 112. Poor batting as well, but there's not as much here for the seamers as England would have first thought. And really, it's a bit of naivety from them to think that the seamers would have such a huge impact in this. You need really someone to come and do an incredible job for 4 or 5 overs to pick up 3 or 4 wickets. Yeah. Of course, you've got someone like Anderson who can do it, but can you expect him to do it? Probably not, I think, is the answer to that one. Rohit Sharma's 43 or 58 and Kohli 18 or 31. India are 75 for 2 of 24 overs. And if anyone who's tuning in who doesn't know, Charles, who's in the chat and commenting, he's actually in the stadium watching it as I am talking about the game. And yeah, he said it's like listening to BBC Radio, which I'm so happy with, to be honest with you. So you can tell I'm very happy with that, to be honest with you. But yeah, he was just explaining what it's like to be in a stadium. Obviously, one of 55,000 people there, and yeah, I think he's really enjoying it. He's local in Ahmedabad, so I hope you're enjoying it, which I'm sure he is, being an Indian fan. But he did say it's disappointing not to see more of a competitive contest, which so far it hasn't been, really, has it? And Charles says, if I was England's coach slash manager, I would be pissed off at the single Rohit just took for defense and run. What are England defending for? Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really be able to forward defense anything and run. The only thing I'd say is that Crawley did. Um, I mean, he just timed a forward defense for 4 early on against Bumrah, which was absolutely ridiculous. That was pure time. But I mean, yeah, if it's just a normal regulation for defensive, like you shouldn't be running a single. They need to have men around the ball for spinners. So I think that's just poor field setting from England, and they've got to be attacking. They don't. Like, there's no point not being attacking here because you can't expect the Indian batsmen to make mistakes. You have to be proactive as a team, and kind of how they batted is kind of trickling into how they're bowling at the moment. If I'm being honest with you, it's a lack of intent from England overall, and a lack of what they, I don't know, a lack of really thinking behind it. Cash says, should England have bowled first? Um, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't think the toss matters that much, and it's going to be so controversial. I don't actually think it matters that much in this instance. I think it's just a case of bad application. I think if England are bowled first, we're probably in a similar situation. And if you think about it, okay, let's maybe flip the switch and say, if India had got bowled of 112, how do we think England would be faring in the reply? Would they be 71 for 2? I reckon they would be about 40 for 5, 40 for 6, if I'm being honest with you, England. So I just think it's a lack of batting depth anyway, and application. I mean, they only bat to 7. Folks is the last recognisable batsman. I was saying to people earlier, India, they bat down to 9. Washington Sundar's at 9. He's probably a 7, I would say. So that's the difference. And then the pitch as well. Even if they bowled first, I think they're definitely at least a spinner light. And I just think, unfortunately, they're in a catch-22 because they've tried to pick their team. I think they've got the most wicket-taking bowlers with Anderson, Broad, Archer, and Leach. That's a very good shot from Rohit Sharma, just pinging that just behind point. I think that has a little bit maybe an outside edge there. I'll have a look at the replay, but yeah, really good stuff. And yeah, I just think, honestly, really, for me, I just think it's a case of they don't trust Bess. Don Best, they don't trust him. Could they have gone with Ahmed Verdi, Matt Parkinson, Mason Crane? Probably not, because they're really inexperienced. But then what do you do? Like, yeah, it's a bit of an outside edge there. Just running down to third man where third man would have been. I don't know. I just think, for me, it's easy to say they should have bowled first, but I just think it's a mentality issue, and they. I don't know. It's a bizarre one. It's a really, really bizarre one. Matt says here, England's best bowlers are seams and they took the gamble. It looks like it's backfiring. Yeah, it does. It looks like it's backfiring big time, I think. And I would have actually gone for Wokes instead of Broad. Cash said something very similar. And as we're talking about that, Rohit Sharma is now just hit his 50 off 63, a very quick 50 from a test standard, let's be honest. And he doesn't really tend to score very slowly, does he, even in test matches. Matt Jones says Crawley love alert. He loves. For anyone who doesn't know, Matt is a huge Kent fan. Loves that Crawley. And is that a drop? Is that a drop there off Kohli? He's getting up. I don't know. It was a very hard chance if it was. I don't think so. Charles says yes. Cash at Kashif. Yes, to justify losing this game as well. Yeah. I know Cash says, but England would have understood how the pitch played, which would have helped the struggling batsman, in my opinion. Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, I agree with you, Cash. I understand what you're trying to say there, but would it really have made that much of a difference? Like, in the last Test match, they saw what was happening. Like they had two goes at it, and both times they were poor. I don't know what it is. It's just they're struggling in general. I think whether they would have looked it or not, maybe they would have got more than 112. Whether they've got more than 150, I probably doubt it. That's kind of where I'm at, really. If you take that performance, and yeah, like maybe they would have done it slightly better, as you said, because they would have known. But if I'm being honest with you, the people coming in, like Crawley knows how it's playing. He was out there for long enough. So when batsmen are coming in, he's telling them this is how it plays. This is what you should be doing. Like he would have been saying that to them. So like there's not much of a difference there for me because as a batsman, if you've got someone he got 50 odd from 60 odd deliveries, he had quite a few partners. He would have been saying to them, especially when he got near the 50, he would have been saying, okay, it's doing X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm doing, and then people just need to adapt their games. And the issue I have as well is that people play spin differently. India's batsmen play spin quite a bit differently to England's batsmen. Root sweeps a lot. Hardly any of the Indian batsmen sweep really. So uh, that's just an example of where, yes, you can kind of see how the pitch is playing, and maybe you can take on what other people are doing, but it's not the be all and end all for me. I think you need to be um, you gotta be better. Like you have to apply yourself better. And England just have not done that. And as I said, it's too what's the word? It's too pedestrian from England in the batting and again in the bowling. Lack of intent, lack of really kind of application, and unfortunately, it's kind of the same story as the last test so far. If I'm being honest with you, and it could be over by day three. It could be over in day three if it carries on like this. Matt says if Stokes had more overs under his belt, I think England might have taken Broad out for best. Potentially, actually, yeah, maybe that they would have done that. Stokes hasn't bowled enough, has he? He seems to be bowling more now. They just need to utilize him. I think he's supposed to have the golden arm. Hasn't really bowled too well, I would say. Yeah, I just think. But would Best have made a difference, Matt? That's my issue. I just don't know if he would have. Um, that's why maybe I'm in two minds. I'm like, they've gone with the right team because potentially they can make more. They can, they've gone with the right team because they are more threatening as bowlers. Best is not as threatening, but he's a spinner. This is a spinning pitch. Should they have picked him, but then will he get wickets? Or will exactly what happened in that second innings or the first test happen? He might pick up one, but he'll get spanked everywhere. Is it really worth it? Probably not. That's my thinking. I don't know. Or you take a gamble and you pick one of the three reserve spinners who are good, but they're inexperienced. It's just, yeah. Joe Root is going to have to bowl. Charles said Joe Root will need to come on. I think he's going to have to bowl quite a few overs, if I'm being honest with you. And he should be coming on if his back's okay to bowl. And that's kind of where we're at. I would say personally. Cash says Matt Jones more of a structural issue. England don't have quality spinners. Yeah, I agree. Frontline Leach isn't even close to part-time Akshar. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very, very good point. Like the quality, the difference in quality between India spinners and England spinners, I think the chasm is huge. It is a chasm, right, between the quality of Indian and England spinners, if I'm being honest with you. But I don't know. You just got to utilize what you've got as well. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. Going into this tour, I did say that I don't really rate. I definitely didn't really rate Bess. I thought Bess was someone who he will potentially become a good spinner, but he's too one-dimensional. Leach, I said, could do a decent job. But again, like it's completely different to having Monty Panesar and Graham Swan, which they had when they last beat India in India, which is why I guess a lot of people are writing off England because of the spin department. They even had Adil Rashid as well. Came last time on 190. They did a pretty good job when they came to. They didn't win that series, but they bowl a lot better than maybe these guys are. I don't know. It's a real difficult one, I think, and I just think You've got to utilize what you've got. Maybe they're not doing enough, but really for me, I don't even think the bowling is the biggest issue. It's the batting, and they do their stronger batting lineup than spin bowling department. So like, there's no excuse. The batsmen didn't stand up, and they put them under pressure. And I guess that's what Matt's saying here. If you score 300, then Bess and Leach look way more threatening. Yeah, because I guess they're going to put people around the bat. They're not going to be scared to put people around the bat, are they? They're going to say, well, actually, we'll do that because we have the wickets in hand. We can do it. Also, we have the runs on the board even. So let's put people around the bat. If they hit us over the top, it doesn't matter because we've got a few runs to spare. Here they don't really, but I still think they need to do it anyway if they want to take wickets, if I'm being honest with you. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, I agree with you. I think, Leach has bowled quite well today, I think. 1 for 23 off 6. He's bowling okay. A little bit expensive, not hugely, just under 4s. I don't know. It's a tough one. Charles says, England made an informed decision. All the side, much like Ali, games have been steamer friendly. It's only yesterday that the ground staff decided to cut all the grass off and not water the pitch. Yeah, but that's what I mean though, Charles. Like, it's India's prerogative, right? They're the home side. They can do whatever they want. And I understand they might have looked at the picture for the side, much like Ali Trophy, but it's Test cricket and it's different. They can just prep it how they want. And as he said, last minute they might have said it to them. England were naive to think that. I don't know, they were naive to think that it was going to be seam friendly. It never was going to be. Because the second Test match, they got absolutely skittled. They got destroyed because of spin. They're not going to take that strength away, India, are they? They're going to say, and as soon as the teams were announced, as soon as they were announced, I knew it was going to turn on day one. I knew it. They've got 3 spinners in that team, India. So with 2 seamers. And then you look at England's 4 seamers with 1 spinner. The difference is huge, and India know what the pitch is playing it like. And to be honest with you, England would have seen the pitch as well. They could have changed it on the day, and they didn't. They stuck with their guns because they think it's the one that's going to get them the most wickets. But unfortunately, as Matt said, I think it's backfiring. But yeah, batting for me is the biggest issue. Charles says all the domestic T20 games played on this ground just a week back had a lot of help for the seamers under lights. That's why England decided to play 3 seamers. Yeah, I agree with you. I can see why you're saying that, but again, I just think the pitch is going to be. They've obviously they treated this pitch differently. They prepared it differently. It's playing differently. Yeah, I know what you're saying, though, John. I know what you're saying. I think it's just difficult because do they take it how it's historically played, or they take it as how they think it's going to be prepared? But as soon as they saw the grass had been cut off, they should have had a plan A, plan B. You can change teams on the day, so they should have redone that then, if that was the case. Cash says, probably unfair for England spinners that they are being compared against probably the strongest spin attack in the world. Makes them look particularly poor. Yeah, it does, and I think you need to take it with a pinch of salt a little bit. We don't see many high quality, I would say, Test spinners around. I've said this quite multiple times. I have. Ashwin is one. Apart from that, I really struggle. Nathan Lyon didn't have a very good home series just recently against India. He was maybe up there, but I think he's struggling to get up to that elite level. You got Ashwin, who's doing very well. Apart from Ashwin, though, and maybe Jadeja as well, but then Jadeja's injured, but they still got Axar Patel to come in. Axar Patel comes in and picks up 6 wickets. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then they're like, oh, maybe India's spin, like in terms of domestically, is not as strong as their pace at the moment, because obviously they're through a golden generation of pace bowlers at the moment. But no, it doesn't matter because their spinners are still doing a fantastic job. And just bring a spinner in, he does great. So that's an absolute cracker from Leach. Drift into the right hander, then turn and bounce. That's absolute beauty, and he needs to bowl a lot more of those. And we saw that Axar Patel bowling around the wicket that you can get wickets. He obviously utilised that ball that delivery that goes straight on with the arm around the wicket. He's going to have a bit more variation to his bowling and really stick his flag in there at one end, I would say, and really just keep chipping away, building pressure. And unfortunately, what they've done is they haven't built pressure in this 3rd session, and they're just showing the run rate here now, actually, which is very helpful. 22 overs, 79 runs, 2 wickets, 3.59 run rate even, sorry. That shows a difference, whereas the first and second session where England were batting, 3 run rate and then 1.35. So India batted towards the end of that one as well. So I just think that makes a huge difference. The wickets fallen, 4 in the first session, 6 in the second. All England's wickets, obviously, and then only 2 in the third. So I just think, I don't know, it shows maybe the golf inability of these two teams to play spin. In the batting lineups, I'd say more than even just the bowlers. Yes, the quality of spin is slightly different in both camps. I think India, we can clearly say, has a better have better spinners, but can we legitimately say that England's batting has been good? Because I don't think it has been. I think it's been really, really poor, and you can't. I don't know. You can't blame it on the bowlers. I feel like bowlers already get a bad rap as it is, and there's a lot of pressure on them. And it's a batsman's game, man. Got to do better with the bat. 84 for 2, trailing by only 28 runs now here, and India will be looking. So this should be finishing fairly soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And I wonder how many overs are left. Actually, if anyone's listening to the commentary, let me know, because I thought it was supposed to finish round 4. Yeah, let me know, guys. So 84 for 2. Let's see how it goes. Anderson running in here and just flicking that away, the Rohit Sharma. Very good flick around the corner. Sartak says, Rohit Sharma made a comment in the pre-match interview. He said, "We don't complain when we play on green pitches overseas. Why should we make our pitches spin-friendly?" Rohit being Rohit. Yeah, I mean, Rohit Sharma is I'm going to be very controversial potentially. I think he's a fantastic player. A really good player. As a character, I'm not. But then I don't really know him personally. Before he said, he can be as Sartak said, Rohit being Rohit. But he's right. He's right. Like, you can't complain about the pictures, how it's prepared, unless it's a poor picture in terms of the standard of it. Fine, but it's not. You can't complain about the pictures. Like, I'm sorry, you just have to deal with it. And like, they knew, if they didn't know it was going to be a turning pitch, then they're very, very naive, the England management. Because what happened in the second one? What happened? They got completely done, didn't they? They got completely skittled and destroyed. So I just think it is what it is. England should have known. They didn't prepare properly. That's life, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see. Achal says we can go for extra 45 minutes till the end of the day, so max 40 minutes to go. Okay, fantastic shot from Kohli off the back foot. Wow, that's a quality shot. I'm not just saying because it's the name of my channel. A fantastic shot from from Kohli. Really good. 23 off 43 now for him. And this is just watching the replay again. Doesn't need a lot of foot movement. Just rocks back on the back foot, full face to the bat through the covers. That is an absolute cracker of a shot. Sorry, even absolute cracker. I might have to say, really, really good shot from him. Oh, we can go extra. Yeah. Cash says, Sartak Gog makes a good point. Our understanding of cricket is shaped in England and Australian conditions, needs to change. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Yeah, like 100,000,000%. Like, I completely agree. Like, people think that, like, you have to understand that cricket doesn't just happen in Australia or even just in India, to be honest with you. It happens all over the world, and the conditions are different in each and every country. Sri Lanka, India, and Pakistan, they may be similar, but they're all slightly different. Same with Bangladesh, all slightly different, even though they're all in the subcontinent. You got to think about like the conditions, and you've just got to deal with them. They would have known this beforehand, England, and I don't know, man. It completely baffles me sometimes as to how people prepare, and they think about how to approach games. You can't just play one way in every single different condition. The way you bat and bowl changes depending on the conditions. It's common sense. And at this elite level, I think it's poor if they're not utilizing different facets or developing different facets of their game to make sure they can be well prepared. It looks like they haven't, or maybe India are just too good, and that can also be the case. Charles says England were 6 overs short in the first session, and then there were several overs lost due to the change-up. That's why. Okay, fine. Um, yeah, that's fine. And Charles also says the beauty of playing a back foot punch to cover is the timing. Get it wrong even slightly, and you'll look ridiculous. Amazing short shot by Kohli. Yeah, I agree. A back foot punch to cover is just pure timing, and if you get it wrong, then you all look ridiculous because either your bat will be hanging out, you would have nicked off. So yeah, Sachin Tendulkar used to have a fantastic back foot as a square drive actually, which is one of the best I think ever really. If you talk about that single shot, 89 for 2 of 28 overs. As I think Charles said, there's still a bit of time left to go in this game. Let's see how they do. To be honest with you, it's looked pretty good from them, and actually just talking to you guys if you are interested in the PSL. Yeah, just looking to see. Yeah, 196 for 3. Crotch Kings ended up on, and Islamabad United just lost the wicket straight away, and it's 1-for-1. Alex Hales is in. Phil Salt just bowled and caught by Dan Christian. So I will be tuning into that chase after this day concludes. Ollie Pope should have taken the catch of the century. Yeah, so Rohit Sharma just trying to pad around the corner there, and Ollie Pope diving, trying to get to that. And that would have been an incredible catch if you'd taken that. Really good effort. He's a very, very good close infielder, isn't he, Ollie Pope? Very flexible, very good reflexes and reactions. So fantastic stuff from him. Doing a really, really just a stand-up job, isn't he? He really is. Fantastic stuff from him. Or Leach just okay. Leach is bowling well here. Bowling nice tight stuff here to Kohli. ... 1. Just straight in the replay now. Kohli, that would have been a fantastic catch. He's actually read it as soon as Kohli's gone down to paddle sweep around the corner, and he's actually got a hand on it. He's dived. He's dove in anticipation, really. And he just hasn't managed to hold on to that. That would have been an incredible catch. Imagine if Kohli got out like that. He would have been livid and probably right. I mean, what a delivery by Jack Leach there. Again, drifting, grip, turn away from the right-hander. Absolute beauty from Jack Leach, just missing the off stump. This time a bit shorter, and Kohli rocks on the back foot, punches it into the offside to that deep cover fielder, which is Dom Sibley. Rohit Sharma on 53 of 72, and Kohli 24 of 47. 91 for 2 of 29. Guys, are we going to see any more wickets here? I don't think we are. They look very comfortable, don't they? They look absolutely comfortable as heck. What time is stumps? I thought it was 4 p.m. So apparently, according to Charles, who's in the stadium, it's actually you can get 40 minutes. 40 minutes more of play. So I think this should be over, I'm hoping, the next 20 minutes or so. If anyone does know exactly when it's going to end, because I can't hear the commentary, let me know if you're watching. Sartak says Kohli dropped. Oh no, you're ruining it. Oh no, quickly take it off the screen. Take it off the screen. Or is Sartak talking about Ollie Pope being dropped? Ollie Pope dropping him. Sorry, even it wasn't really a drop. To be fair, Sartak. It was more a. It was more he tried to anticipate it at short leg, and he dove in anticipation. And if he'd taken it, it would have been, I think, as Charles said, probably one of the catches of the century, if I'm being honest with you. Cryptic says, I think Karachi should have got 200 plus considering the position they were in. Yeah, they were going at like 10 and over. Like, what happened? And they only lost 3 wickets. They should have just started whacking it everywhere. That was bizarre that they didn't get more than 200. Should have started swinging from the hills, really. Oh, is that drop? Oh no, I think that's the drop that Sartak's talking about, and that's a bad drop from Ollie Pope. And I was just commending him on about how good he is as a close infielder, and he drops what, to be honest, is it's not a hard catch. It's not a hard catch at all. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a hard one. Let's have a look at the replay. Is that gully here? No, it's an easy one. It's an easy catch. He's, I think, gone to leave. Has he gone to leave that kohli? No, yeah, he's gone to play and then thought, "Oh, no, I'm going to leave it." Hesitates. It's one of those ones that comes off the outside edge, and Ollie Pope. That's an easy catch. He'll be really disappointed with that. Terrible. As a child says here, yeah, commentator's curse. Yeah, it was. I was saying how good he is close in, and he completely ruined my faith. Where Leach lacks is this: bowls a beauty on the fifth ball, squares Cody up. He should have been able to bowl an arm ball from the same spot. He ends up bowling a short one. Cody takes an easy single. Yeah, I agree. A lack of control, maybe. Cody's been dropped a couple of times. Yeah, he has, hasn't he, Cryptic? He has. England got to take their chances. The first one I think is difficult. This one's not a difficult catch. Ollie Pope's got to be taking that, I think, and he looks really annoyed with himself, and rightly so, because he's a very good fielder normally. As Charles said, maybe it's commentator's curse, and yeah, it's a tough one. So Tark says tough luck for Ollie, yeah, because the first one they said what a fantastic effort it was, and like it would have been incredible. This one they can say categorically it's a drop, and it's an easy one as well. To me, it's a nice height. He's at gully. I think maybe it put him off. Kohli going to play a shot and then leaving it. He probably was like, "Oh, it's going to come to me." And the next thing you know, it's coming flying at him. But it's an easy catch, really, especially at that level. 3 dots in a row though from Anderson, and Anderson, as we know, has had a lot of success against Kohli historically, especially about 5, 6, 7 years back, I think it was. Since then, hasn't been as effective, but he seems to be giving Kohli a little bit of a hard time now. That's for sure. Doing a very good job trying to tie him up, and he's doing a good job here. Anderson, they need to wicket. I think it might be coming, but no, very solid defense from Virat Kohli. What do you guys think? Do you think the crowd makes a difference when you're fielding as well? Because you know there's a crowd around you, although probably there's more pressure on the home side, right, when fielding for catching, I would assume, rather than the away side. But yeah, Ollie Pope is not happy with himself, and rightly so, because that's an easy catch. He knows the cameras are on him. He's looking away. He's a youngster as well. He's only 22, 23. He's very young, and just coming back from shoulder surgery as well. A very talented cricketer. Plays for Surrey, where I live, and yeah, he's a very, very big talent, but should have taken that one. Anderson, 5 dots in a row here now. What can he do here? Can he get a wicket on the last ball? Can he bowl a maiden, or will Kohli get off the mark here? He's getting a bit frustrated here, Virat Kohli. I think this is good pressure here from England. This is the type of pressure they need. Interesting to see whether they can do something. Anderson running in. Let's see what's he going to bowl. Tries to bowl the outswinger. Bit short though. Doesn't get as much movement through the air as he would have liked. But it's a very good line length and a very good over from Anderson. A maiden, and I think that's back-to-back maidens from Anderson. So he's come back in the second spell and bowled very well so far. I think they're going to continue with Leach. Let's see if they do. Really, I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it, guys? Like, you just think to yourself, it's like he would have taken that type of catch in practice like 1,000 times. Then you go onto the field and next thing you know, he's dropped it, and you just think, what is going on? It just happens. It is life, unfortunately. Charles says, I rate my fielding as Ollie Pope level. Attempt to take a sunner but drop a complete dolly. Been there, done that moment. Yeah, exactly. I think we've all been there, haven't we? Anyone who plays club level cricket. So Tarek says England needs a wicket before stumps. Sharma needs to go. Partnership looks dangerous. Yeah, 100%. England need, I'd say, at least a wicket. I said if they want it to be a level playing field, they need at least 4 wickets. But given the run rate that India are going, I would say more like 5 or 6. But They need at least one to kind of say that, okay, we're in kind of the game here, because at the moment it's going to be very, very tough, considering that they're only 2 wickets down and it's 91 for 2. They're trailing by not very many right now, and they need a wicket, as Saltek says, probably Sharma ASAP, because he's someone who can take the game away from you, because he's going to bat very aggressively, a lot more aggressively than even someone like Kohli. So the longer he stays in, the more damage he's going to be doing. And India only trail by 21 runs here. They stopped the flow of runs at the last few overs, have England. So let's see if they can really utilize and utilize the building of pressure here, because that's what you need, right? The pressure needs to be let out in some way, whether it's a wicket or a big shot or just good bowling. So let's see what happens with that as well. Oh, well bowled. I think it's out. Oh, it's a stumping opportunity. Really good stuff from Rohit Sharma as well. And fantastic stuff from Jack Leach in the end. Rohit Sharma 53 of 74, Kohli 24 of 53. And really, really good bowling here from Jack Leach. Ben Folkes. Oh, no, he's got his he's got his foot ground. It's a really good ball, though. It's almost like it's bouncing too much, isn't it? Sometimes as a spinner, sometimes you put revs on the ball, and it's just an incredible ball that it will drift in, pitch, grip, turn, but they've just missed off stump, and then it's a dot ball, and you're like, great, but there's no wicket from that. It can be like the best ball in the world, but it doesn't matter if you don't pick up a wicket, I guess. But it creates pressure, but yeah, not out, grounded his foot in there, so good stuff from Jack Leach. Maybe, as Charles says, he needs to be able to bowl that arm ball. That's the difference, right? Between the two, between him and Axar Patel, and just tuning into the Islamabad United again. It's going to be over very quickly because it's 14 for 2, and Shadab Khan, the captain, came in at 3, bowled Mohammad Amir at OBW. So that's a big, big surprise there. Fahim Ashraf now in with Alex Hales, and that's a big, big blow for Islamabad United, and they're chasing a huge total there. They could get skittled. Let's see. India at 91 for 2. Rohit Sharma and Kohli have built a very substantial and steadying of the ship partnership, I would say, with Rohit Sharma on 53 for 75, Kohli 24 for 53, and Leach running in, just rubs his hand on the dirt, trying to make sure that he can grip the ball. Probably because a bit of sweaty palms, probably, I would assume, out there in Ahmedabad. What do you think, Achal? Are your palms a bit sweaty? And Leach, with a fantastic delivery again. As Achal has rightly said early on, needs to get that one to straighten up, so that, you know what, it gives the batsman something to think about. Even, I think. So Tarek says, what are your thoughts on England's player rotation policy? I think it's fine. I'll be honest with you. I would say the only... that's a very good delivery again. Bit shorter, turning away, gripping, and you could see him going down for the sweep, I think, which is why it's a good delivery. It's a difficult one. I think normally you'd say, no, it's not a good idea. But what they've done is, and they've thought about it, and they've said, well, okay, we've got 17 tests this year, which I think is like a record amount to have in a year for England. They've got a number of white ball series as well, or white ball games to play. They've got the World T20, which is going to be in this year as well. They've got a lot of the English players will be playing in the 100, right, in the summer, which is like basically it's like another franchise, but in the UK. So okay, they're going to be thinking themselves, all these players are going to be playing. A lot of these players are going to be playing multiple of these tournaments. So what they're doing is they're resting and rotating players who are all format players, mostly. The Joss Buttler, Sam Curran, Johnny Best, and Moeen Ali, they all play all 3 formats. Joe Root, I don't think is going to be playing T20s, which is why they're probably not going to rest him, and he's also the captain in the test. Broad and Anderson, they rotate because they're old. So for me, it's perfect. Like, you have to do it, because you can't have like Joss Buttler playing every single test, every single ODI, every single T20. Like, it's just, they'll get bowled to the ground. Archer is another one. You have to rest him and rotate him. yeah, like you have to rotate the players, I think, and it's been commended by a lot of teams. I don't think this is the reason why they're losing. I think it's poor selection and also poor application. I'd say selection is difficult. I think that's a bit more of a grey area, but application for sure you can say it's been poor from them, in my opinion, anyway. And Charles says no, it's a bit cold. Um, that's that's not sweaty palms, but the dew, yeah. So it might be the dew from Leach and Archer's back on 1 for 17 or 4. Charles says, FYI, Ahmedabad cold is like 20 degrees. Wow, that's not cold. That's not cold at all. That's warming. That's warm here in the UK, Charles. So lucky you, mate. Lucky you for sure. Archer's running in here. All very good delivery. Just rears up a little bit on kohli, and he just managed to get something on it and tickles it into the leg side. And folks with those black gloves picks up the ball quickly. There's good running there from India, so good stuff from them. 59 partnership between the two from 94 deliveries, so really impressive stuff from both. And for anyone who's tuning in or interested in the PSL, Islamabad United are 33 for 2 off 2.3 overs, chasing 197. They need 164 from 105 balls, a run rate of 9.37. Alex Hales is going ballistic. He's 29 of 12. They need him staying, I would say, and go big. Rohit Sharma, 53 of 78. Kohli 27 of 56 here. India 96 for 2. Let's see. Ian need a wicket, as Sartak said earlier. Doesn't know they're going to get it. Charles says, have you ever witnessed 50 degrees centigrade? That is summer here every year here. No, I haven't actually. I haven't. I think I probably ever 41, 42 maybe. No, 50 though, never. Says, lucky you, mate. Yeah, but you guys probably have air conditioning, right? We don't have built-in air conditioning here. So when it went to, I think here in the UK, it got up to like 39 degrees. And we don't have air conditioning in any of the houses. Or, oh no, that's poor fielding by Jack Leach. He's just kicked that into the boundary. That's very village. That's very, very village from Jack Leach. I know he's probably tired and stuff, but that's really, really poor. And they're just panning all the England players, and let's just say they all look pretty miffed as to what just happened there. Let's have a look at the replay because that's just so bizarre. Really good flick from Rohit Sharma. It's a full ball from Archer straight onto the pads. Jack Leach gets there, and then he doesn't. He misses the ball completely with his hand, goes straight through him into the boundary. And Jack Leach isn't the best fielder, but Archer's not happy to say the least. Yeah, so you guys have got air conditioning there, don't you? Everywhere when it's that hot, we don't have it here. So not in the houses anyway, in the workplaces and stuff maybe, but otherwise no. But yeah, all good. Hope everyone is all good. Let's see how it all goes, guys. Fastest from Jofra Archer is 142 Ks. Average 136, slowest 127. Interesting stuff. Interesting stats there for sure. Shows that he's not really ramping up, is he? So his rhythm's not there. He's still recovering. I don't know if he's fully fit from that elbow injury. I wonder if they've just chucked him in. He's got the those strips that you have now. You know, they've got those like skin tight strips. They're different designs and stuff, but it's basically to try and keep the muscles in place, whatever it is. Compression strips. And he's got those on, so I'm assuming he's not fully fit, like 100%, but probably close to around about 85, 90%. But good enough that they want to chuck him in there. So I don't know. I guess that's a good sign. But his pace is down. When I say down, it's not slow, but it's not up to the pace that we're used to seeing Jofra Archer potentially bowl. And he hasn't bowled long spells either. So you're expecting to bowl quick. So I don't know. Maybe the rhythm is just not there. Jack Leach after that very let's say poor fielding attempt is back on 1 for 26 from 9 overs, and yeah, local time is 9:55, so it should be wrapping up here soon, surely. I don't know. Let's have a look. Really good stuff though from Kohli, just pinging that into the offside. And yeah, Jack Leach is doing a good job though with the ball. I'd say it's not terrible anyway. I think he's done a solid job with the ball. Hasn't set the world light, but a couple of very good deliveries on a decent turning track, and he's bowled him. And you know what? I completely gave him the commentator's curse, and so I'm going to take that one. I said he wasn't doing anything that sets the world alight, and he did. He just did. Leach takes Virat Kohli, and he gets him with the one that Achal was saying he needs to bowl one a bit straighter, and this time he did. It just went on, didn't really turn too much, cleans up Kohli's off stump, and he tries to go back foot to that one, and it's a 98 for 3, and England needed that. And obviously, we know that the day is about to wrap up. That's a really big wicket for them. Virat Kohli obviously gone, and he chops on. Actually, it's an inside edge onto the stumps. It's a bit straighter, not much turn. He obviously bowled that one. It's an arm ball or one that just goes on with the arm. And fantastic delivery from Jack Leach. A bit shorter. I would say it's a false shot from Kohli, so it's a bit of a mistake for him as well. But a well bowled, and Virat Kohli is out for 27 as he walks back. Let's see. India should send out a night watchman here, right? I'd assume, or will they not? Let's see. Cash says, "Well done, Leach." Yeah, exactly. Really well done, Leach. Fantastic stuff from him. Really good stuff from him. I'll tell you what, like he bowled pretty solidly, as I said. I just said he hasn't set the world alight, which I didn't think he had, but that is a very vital wicket. And Charles says that's a big time lag. I get that now. Sorry to spoil it for you. No worries at all. No worries at all, mate. In fact, it didn't. When you typed it anyway, and I saw it, it just happened. So it's all good. It's all good. But of course, you're there live in the stadium, so you're seeing it as it happens. And Cryptic says, Kohli gone, yes. As you can tell, Cryptic is happy. I think he wants to see a competitive match between England and India, which I think, to be fair, we all do. And you need wickets, considering England got bowled out for 112. So, yeah, I think that makes sense for sure. India 98 for 3 here. 32 overs gone. Rahane comes in, so no night watchman. There can't be many overs left, but they obviously back themselves to just bat it out. Talking of PSL, Islamabad United are 45 for 2, so they're going at the rate. Alex Hales is 40 off 16. He's going absolutely ballistic. What the hell? What the hell? That is ridiculous. But anyway, he's going ballistic. I will be tuning in for that game. As I said to you, as soon as this is finished, I'll literally just be switching pretty much straight over. So stay tuned. I've already got the stream set up. Just need to jump on that as soon as this is done. But yeah, that chase looks like even after the first 2 early wickets, if Hales can stay in, the hailstorm looks like it's coming to Karachi Kings. Anyway, India 98 for 3, Rohit Sharma 57 off 81, and Rahane 0 off 0. They've got Ben round the bat, which is what you need to do, which is fantastic. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, really good stuff. Let's have a look. Rehan Hussein, thank you very much for joining us. Please do like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Really does help. When Ashwin was bowling, why does Rashab say, come on? Does he not say, come on, Ash? I would assume. But guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Charles says, very good from England. Finally, more players around the batsman. Exactly. Let's have a look. Leach is bowling in here. Well bowled. Oh, they got him. That's close. It's an outside edge, but it hasn't carried, I don't think. Or if it has, it's obviously not been taken. Satak says, I wanted Sharma to go. At least I'm glad I got my half prediction right. Yeah, you did. One of them went. Satak, are you not supporting India then? Are you supporting England? Who are you guys supporting and why? I'm interested. Achal is obviously supporting India. He's in the stadium watching it as we speak. Yeah, just dropped short there. Well bowled, and Root obviously just not able to hold on to it as it spins past his hands. Rehan Hussein, I've subbed and bro and like. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks very much for doing so, and thanks for joining the stream as well. Ashad Kohli gone. Sad times. As you can tell, Ashad is a Indian fan. Well, when you talk about this game anyway, he'll be an Indian fan, I think. Well, it's Kohli's gone is a sad times for an Indian perspective, but to be honest with you, I don't think it makes a massive difference in the bearing of the game. But if you want it to be more competitive, I think they need to get Rohit Sharma as well before the day is over to say, you know what, come on, let's um let's get some competitive cricket. And I think that's kind of where I'm at the moment because I don't really have a vested interest in either. Um, I'm from the UK and I'd like to see England win because I just think stumps, it's stumps. Okay, so supporting Test cricket as always. Yeah, that's what I want. And Charles says stumps and 99 for three. India's day, isn't it? So Tark says I want this match to get a bit competitive. Exactly. Thank you very much, guys. That's completely what I'm talking about. All of you are saying the right things. Rehan says I'm definitely supporting England. Whichever team's losing, I support unless it's Pakistan. Oh, classic. Always support the underdog, eh? Okay, guys. Firstly, thank you very much for joining in. Please do like this video as well. Share it with all your mates if you want, if they think you think they'll be interested in it. Get them all to subscribe. You know, your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncles, your cousins, your aunts, your friends and family, anyone. Anyone who likes cricket. But yeah, 99 for three, fantastic. Not from Crawley early doors. That 53. Rohit Sharma's 57, not out, still in. And look, to be honest with you, they're only training by however much. I think it's less than 20 now. So um, they're going to easily get past that 112 anyway. It's just a question of how long. And Rahan says, got a strong feeling that India will boil up for 200. Yeah, potentially. That could be it. That could be potentially what happens. Okay, guys, I'm going to start a stream for PSL. It's already set up. Give me 3 minutes to get my laptop charger, plug in, and start the stream. Please make sure that you do tune into that. It's going to be on the same channel as well. So Quality Shot, please check it out. I'll be tuning into that because Alex Hales looks like he's about to go absolutely ballistic on Karachi Kings. They're 55 for 2 off 3.6 overs, chasing 197. So let's see how that goes. Okay, I'll see you guys on that stream if you're interested. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And yeah, thank you.